Raise your hand if you have ever heard the term, the riches are in the niches. Now, there's a couple things I have to say about this. One, there's always that argument of is it niche or niche? And I think that the riches are in the niches proves that it's niche and not niche. But the second thing to this is it's a very true statement. If you want to grow on YouTube, if you want to grow a business, if you want to grow on Instagram, if you want to grow anywhere, if you niche down, you have so much better of a chance than if you are completely wide open or talking about all the things. You have way better of a chance to grow if you are taking part in a small, specific niche rather than trying to talk to the masses. So today I want to talk about why niching down is important, how you can niche down to actually grow on YouTube, and how to choose your niche and really lean into it and figure out what it is. What's up, y'all? My name is Jessica Stansberry. If you are brand new here, welcome. Welcome to my internet home. And if you are looking for tips and tricks on how to grow on YouTube faster and how to beat the algorithm and, go like gangbusters, this is the channel for you. So make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any other antics and helpful things from your girl Jessica. Alrighty, so what is a niche? And yeah, if you want to be fancy and say niche, that is totally fine, but I'm Southern and we don't do fancy. So if you're hearing this word coming out of my mouth, it will always be niche. And there's a lot of, I just looked up niche on the dictionary.com and there's a lot of definitions, just so you know. It is a recessed part of a wall or a comfortable, suitable position in life. But what I want to talk about is the definition that says denoting or relating to products, services, or interests that appeal to small, specialized sections of the population. That's what a niche is. So essentially, let's think about it like this. Let's think about, let's draw some pictures. You want to draw some pictures? Let's say that this is the world. This circle on this yellow sticky note is the world. And let's say, because we're gonna pick a really weird niche here, half of the world likes potatoes, half of the world hates potatoes. So this section of the world loves potatoes, this section of the world hates potatoes. Then let's say that the section of the world that loves potatoes, that half of them like them mashed and half of them like them baked. Okay, so now you have this section of the world who likes their taters mashed, this section of the world who likes their taters baked, and this section of the world that don't like no taters, okay? I swear, this is professionalism at its finest, okay? Then let's say that you have a section of the mashed potato people that likes them with butter, and then you have a section of the mashed potato people who don't like them with butter, okay? So we've got love butter and don't like butter on our little chart, and I abbreviated butter with but, so you are welcome for that. So now let's say that you are starting a channel on YouTube and you want to only do potato recipes. Okay? You want to talk about potatoes all the time, all things potatoes, okay? You want to talk about potatoes. And so that is a niche all on its own because it is a small section of the world that likes potatoes because we got this whole other section over here that doesn't like their taters, okay? So the niche here that you are niching yourself into is this half of the world that loves potatoes. Now, if you only talked about baked potatoes, then you are niching yourself even smaller. If you only talk about mashed potatoes, you're niching yourself even smaller. So you get what I'm saying. A niche is a small section of a larger audience. So let's say you want to talk to entrepreneurs. Then entrepreneurs is this big audience, right? Then let's say, that niche is just not niched down enough because it's still really wide and really wide open. So now I want to talk to female entrepreneurs, okay? Awesome. We're going to talk to the ladies, right? then it's like, okay, well, that niche is still pretty saturated. And if I talk about everything that female entrepreneurs ever pertain to anything, right, then I'm still talking to a wide variety of people, and it might be hard for me to gain attention, which we'll talk about in a minute. So then maybe you niche down to female entrepreneurs who are service-based. So service-based female entrepreneurs. That is all female entrepreneurs who do a service for a living. Now that is a freaking good niche, okay? Here's why this is important. You want to find your space in the pie that is niched down enough to where people know exactly what you do and who you talk to, but not niche down so far that you niche yourself out of an audience. So let's say we have a YouTube channel and it's all about fitness, and we start thinking about like, okay, well, I need to niche that down a little. Maybe I'm talking to the women, maybe I'm talking to the men, maybe I'm talking to people who like CrossFit, maybe I'm talking to people who like running, right? So like, okay, what is that niche I want to talk to? Then somehow or another, you decide to only talk to 25-year-old women who do keto and CrossFit, okay? Only 25-year-old women who do keto and CrossFit. That's a little too niched, and you're gonna run out of audience really quickly because there's only so many 25-year-old women in the world. And there's only so many 25-year-old women who do keto and CrossFit, right? Whereas saying, I'm gonna talk to women about keto is a great niche, okay? So you kind of have to do this fine balance of, I need to niche down, I can't talk to everybody, but I need to not niche down so far that I completely niche myself out of a career. There's also a saying that if you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. And that is so very true. I mean, if you are literally like, I'm gonna create a YouTube channel and I'm gonna talk to all the people, every human in the world is my target audience. How are you even gonna do that, right? Like, how are you even gonna create content that's everybody in the world is gonna love? And you're not. And it's gonna be really hard for you to grow because nobody knows why they want to like you. Here's why niching is so important. Okay. First and foremost, it makes you referable. So if someone comes to me and is like, I have a clogged sink and I don't know how to unclog my sink, do you know where I can go find a good YouTube video about this? If there weren't people like Roger Wakefield in the world who literally has a channel all about plumbing, like that's all his channel is about, plumbing, then I wouldn't know how to send them to anybody. If his channel was all about like all the things, right? Like, just like a fix-it channel, and it like, he sometimes talked about like how to fix a bed or how to fix a computer or how to fix a sink or whatever, I wouldn't think of him when I want to refer someone to a video talking about how to unclog a sink. But because his channel is all about plumbing, holy bananas, I'm like, okay, well, if it's anything to do with plumbing, you need to go follow Roger Wakefield on YouTube because he's amazing. Niching is important because it tells your audience why they want to watch you, and it keeps them coming back for more because they know they're interested. If you're all over the place, they don't know if they're interested in that because video 1 may be something that interests them, and then video 2 is like, man, I have no clue what she's talking about. But a really important piece and a really important thing you need to know about niching is it tells YouTube who you're talking to. It tells the system, the algorithm, who you're talking to. So when they're curating content for people's homepages or suggested videos, they know that, oh, this person likes to watch a lot of videos about plumbing. I should really show them Roger Wakefield's videos. Or this person really likes to watch a lot of videos about how to grow on YouTube. I should show them Jessica's videos. So it tells YouTube who to show your videos to based on what they like and what you talk about. So if you're all over the place, it's going to be really, really hard for you to be suggested by YouTube. And that is one of the most powerful ways to grow on YouTube. So picking a niche can literally be the thing that causes you to grow on YouTube versus stay stagnant and not grow on the platform, because YouTube knows who to show your videos to, and that's so freaking important. And then let me iterate again that it tells your audience whether or not they want to subscribe for more. So if they find one of your videos and it's a video all about how to carve pumpkins, And then you've also got a video on your channel about how you drink a gallon of water in a day, or the mic you use for YouTube. That's a lot of weird content all on one channel. That's a lot of unniched content in one place. So if they found your video because they wanted to learn how to carve pumpkins and or do other like crafty type things, but you have all this other crap on there, they don't know whether or not they want to subscribe to you. Whereas if they came to your channel, they watched this video on how to carve pumpkins, they liked it, and then they saw another video about how to make pumpkin pie from your carvings, and then they saw another video about how to craft a wreath for your front door, that might be something they're really interested in, and they might hit subscribe where they wouldn't have if all your content was all jumbled up. And the most important piece of niching down, most important, what I've been really talking about the whole time without actually saying it, is that it makes you an expert in your industry. Even if you are a vlog channel and you're not teaching like how-to tutorials, niching down still makes you an expert in your industry. Okay, so it looks like I have a plant growing out of my head. We're in a pineapple hairband. It doesn't matter what type of channel you are or what type of channel you have. If you will niche down, it makes you an expert in your industry. So if someone is like, I'm hosting a plumbing conference for plumbers or wannabe plumbers or whatever, I instantly know that I need to ask Roger Wakefield. If I am hosting a conference for skateboarders and I want to get a good speaker for this conference, then I might go ask the people from the Braille skateboarding channel. If I want to interview someone on my podcast about health and nutrition, then I might go, find this person on YouTube and ask them to be a guest, right? So it makes you an expert in your industry because you're not talking all over the place. A big thing in business is that you want people to know what you do and how to refer you, which is what I'm circling back around to the very beginning. If they don't know how to refer you, if they don't know how to say like, oh, you need to follow that person because they do X, Y, or Z really well, or they teach X, Y, or Z really well, or they live on a farm, or like whatever, then they will never refer you, and that's going to be a really hard business or channel to grow. So making yourself an expert in your industry comes as a side effect of niching down to the point where people are like, oh my gosh, if you love farm life, you need to go follow Jessica's farm channel. Or if you want to learn more about YouTube, you need to follow Hey Jessica on YouTube. So niching down is so freaking important, and that's the kind of main reason behind it. Now, I get questions a lot about, right, but I have a lot of passions. I have a lot of things I want to talk about. Y'all, if you have followed me for any amount of time, you know I do too. That's why I have a farm vlog channel. That's why I have talked about all things business on this channel before. But I can promise you, if you don't niche down, you will not grow. So I don't know that I would ever take the time to make YouTube videos, film them, upload them, do the things I need to do, and put them out into the world, knowing that I was never going to grow because I can't niche down. Start 3 different channels. I don't care if you have the time to do that, that's fine. But you specifically channel-based need to be niched, and you need to target a certain group of people. So that's why I'm not putting my farm life vlogs on my YouTube tips channel. Right? So, because it doesn't really make any sense. So I understand the argument of being multi-passionate. I mean, honestly, if anybody understands being multi-passionate, it is your girl, because I love all the things. I could think of like 10 different channels I could start tomorrow and be totally fine with it and keep on a trucking. But you can't be multi-passionate and grow. So what I would suggest is start with one niche and grow in that niche, and then start another one, and then incorporate another one if it makes sense. So if I grow a whole YouTube channel based around how to grow on YouTube, and then I want to start incorporating equipment reviews, that's gonna make sense because the people who follow me are on YouTube, and now they need to know what camera to use. There's so many examples there. If I start a whole channel about pregnancy fitness, and then in 6 months I want to start talking about mom fitness, That makes sense because, well, they were pregnant when they found me, so now they're probably a mom, right? So you have got to niche if you want to grow on the platform. You absolutely have to. You have to stick with a niche. Now, if you are just beginning, if you are absolutely a brand new beginner and you're like, I want to talk about cooking and I want to talk about YouTube and I want to talk about plants and I want to talk about staplers, and I'm brand new and I don't have anybody watching me yet. And by the way, yes, that box is still back there because it's a piece of, what's that stuff called? Butcher block that we are making a desk for my kids upstairs with. And that's where it landed, and it's too heavy for me to move by myself, and I can't get my husband to freaking do it. So you're welcome for that in the background. If you do content about all of those topics, right? Like staplers and cooking and YouTube and whatever else, that might allow you to see what you enjoy creating content about. So like if nobody's watching, like go ahead. But the problem is if you do that and you're like, okay, I'm gonna start a channel, I'm gonna talk about all the things and I'm gonna see what takes off, see what I enjoy, see what people enjoy, that kind of thing, see what YouTube's gonna favor me for, that you're not actually gonna make any traction because YouTube doesn't know who to show your content to. So it's gonna be really hard to get favored by YouTube and get them to show your content because they don't know who to show it to. Whereas if Sally over here started a cooking channel at the exact same time that you started your channel and she niched down and she's like, I'm gonna teach Southern cooking on my channel, she's gonna grow 10 times quicker than you will because YouTube knows who to show her content to. The people who find her content are interested in her other content and all the things we already talked about. So niching is so freaking important. And the thing about it is once you niche, and once you grow a large audience, you can actually start to niche out because your audience comes for your niche and stays for you. And that's the case on Instagram and other platforms as well. So if you lure them in with your Southern cooking, right? And you're like, okay, I want to be a Southern cooking channel, and they came for that, but then they love you, then if you incorporate a vlog about your day, I don't know, at the farmer's market, then they're gonna love that and they're gonna be there for you. But you're gonna have to do that once you already have a pretty established audience. So I'm not saying you always have to be like hyper niched and hyper focused, but to grow, you absolutely do need to be that way. And then you can start to add in other things or niche out a little bit more. I feel like I rambled a lot in this video, so I'm really sorry, but I hope it makes sense. And I hope it's one of those things that will hopefully give you like a light bulb moment. If you're not growing on YouTube and you can't figure out why, this could very well be the thing that is causing you to kind of stay stuck. Maybe you're just not niched down far enough. You're just not talking to a small enough group of people, because if you are, they will come, because that's how the algorithm works, that's how people work, and that's how niching works. So if you have any questions about niching, definitely leave them in the comments below. I'll be hanging out down there for the first 30 minutes after this video is published. Until next time, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any other YouTube tips and tricks from your girl Jessica. Bye, y'all.